Hi everyone, Pat Settle with HVT coming to you back to the rebuild shop where we're going to rebuild a couple of Lionel Cabooses. We have done lots of rolling stock so far, from boxcars to gondolas and other specialty cars. Now we're going to tackle a couple of Cabooses that you see here. The Caboose on the left was manufactured by Lionel in the mid-80s, so just about 40 years ago. And on the right we have another Caboose that was built in 2004, so 21 years ago. As you can see, they're both built of plastic trucks, and they're both riveted on the bottom where the trucks are holding into the frame. Here's the one that was built in 1986, plastic shell, plastic frame, riveted trucks. And the one in 2004, slightly different construction with a thicker shell, but similar design on the trucks as well. And this one's built a little bit differently. So Lionel has improved the tooling over the last 35 to 40 years to be more accurate and also better reliable and more durable. And as everyone knows, we will be using the 6-14078 trucks for both of these Cabooses. And these are actually really cool Cabooses. And I like rebuilding these. I've always had appreciation for Cabooses, and it's a certain way to take these pieces apart. And I'm going to be showing you those before we take the frames out to the rebuild shop for rebuilding. The rebuild portion is relatively the same, but the disassembly is a lot different. It's a little bit more involved, but we're up to the challenge in doing this and bringing these cars back to life. So I will see you on the next part where we will begin disassembly. Hi everyone, we are sitting here at the table and we're ready to take apart these two Cabooses. It's a little tricky to get these apart. It does take a little bit of patience, but in the long run, you will have two Cabooses that will be ready and raring to go to take the rails again. The trucks on both of these Cabooses are ready to be replaced. The wheels have seen better days, and the couplers are definitely tired. On this one in particular, you see there's a little bit of corrosion right there on the rivet itself. Not enough to affect anything, but as you know, corrosion will affect metal, so sometimes you have to think about, has it deteriorated on the inside? That's one thing you can consider. And sometimes when the rivets are rusted, obviously, those have to come out. A lot of times with shell repairs, you can repair it with a little bit of glue. With these, there's no tools necessary to take this apart. We're going to start with the older Caboose and work to the other one. The handrails and the frame are all kind of connected together. This bottom piece here just slides right out. You have to wiggle it just a little bit, and it slides right out. Okay? Then we just go to the other side and do the same thing. And see, there's two sets of brackets, one on each end, that slide in, and out comes the frame. Cool. So that's this one. Now for the other one, it's the same way. Pull it out. Go to the other end, pull it out. And out should come the... Okay, this one's actually a little bit different. So this is going to come out. The top is going to come off. This is a little bit different than what I'm working with. So this just slides out. Should be able to get it. So this one's been shut a while. There we go. Okay. This one has a plastic insert. This just pops right out. Should at least. This should slide out. And you can see on the bottom there are the rivets in the bottom. I'll take this out in a second. But see, the railings just come off separately instead of as a unit. Now, there is a tab right there in the middle where you can slide it out. But with one of these, if it was built in the 80s, just pull them out at the bottom and they'll come right out. So this is the one that was built in 2004. And this one's going to need a little bit of TLC on the cosmetics just to get it cleaned up. And same with the one on the older one. So this is just about getting these babies apart. And the plastic insert, you just have to pry the shell just a little bit for it to come out. And I will be taking this out off camera. So I'll be finished getting these apart, and we will do a quick review before we disassemble these. Hi again, everyone. We've worked on the newer caboose a little bit more, and to get the glass insert out of here was a little bit of a challenge. It sits in there like this, and you can see the arrow is pointing this way, which is the front. So the arrow points to me, which that is the front of the caboose. So you want to keep this the same way on the table before you put it back in, so you know which way it goes in. Had to open the shell a little bit and get the front of it to pop out a little bit, and then the whole piece slides out. So Lionel went back and started adding these inserts in a little bit to give these cabooses some character. And I think it is a nice touch. Most of the time, these are never cleaned. This one doesn't look too bad, but while it is apart, I'm going to wash this up with some warm soapy water, and same with the parts for this one here. This one just needs a quick dusting, and these cars will be ready for rebuilding. Now, the difference I will show you between the one from 1986, the frame is separate from the caboose cab. Now, the tooling from 2004 and newer, for the most part, the frame and the actual car body are the same unit. So in this way, it's a lot less you have to handle, and it's a little bit better construction. So this is a really big plus on Lionel's end to make things a little bit easier and better for a better product. So everything is apart. Now we will go ahead, I'll clean all this stuff off camera just to give everything a nice good clean, and we'll be ready to take these cars out to the rebuild shop where we will strip them down, and then after that we will install some 6-140/78 trucks on both of these cars. I can't wait to see this. All right, I will see you guys in the shop. All right, everyone, it is that time again. We're ready to take the two cabooses and take off the old trucks, and getting ready to install the 6-140/78 trucks to both of these cabooses. I do have a piece of wood out here because, as you see, the one made of the 80s is this really flimsy plastic. And you can see there is a small piece of plastic that was molded onto the frame. You can use this as a little guide to allow the frame to rest easy while you are trying to drill it out. Or you can do it like this too. It's a little bit easier since that little notch is there. But this is what you can do. Get it lined up. And just have it, and just drill the rivet out. It is going to be a little bit challenging, and you have to be careful since this is plastic. Now the other one, since both of the pieces are together as one unit, you do not have to make this modification. So anyway, let's go. And I'll do this extremely carefully with surgeon-like delicacy. I've got one of them out. You don't want to mess this hole up too much because heat causes friction. So you want to try to keep the hole as original as possible. So let me go ahead and get that stopped. Get it reset. And be careful, those rivets are going to be hot. Okay. Okay. Number 1 is done. Now it's time for number 2. Okay. At this point, we'll just adjust the table a little bit. And then we just get number 2 ready to go. And now you can see the difference between the first one and the second one. Now you have something to work against. You still don't want to put a lot of pressure on this, but the good thing about it is this is all one unit, and you don't have to worry about using the jig when you're trying to drill it out, when you're trying to drill those rivets out. So, same procedure. Sometimes these rivets do get stuck. And what we'll do is we'll take the drill bit out and we will get that rivet off. Okay. Drill bit just dropped on the floor to knock the rivet off. Then you just put your drill bit right back into the drill press, secure it, and now you're back in business. All right. All stripped down. 2 cabooses done. Now it's time we put some brand new trucks on these babies. And these babies will ride the rails once again. So I will see you back in the reassembly shop. Hello again, everyone. It's a couple 3 days later. And right now we have the parts ready to put onto these cabooses. And we have the Lionel 6-140/78 trucks. And you can find these at any licensed Lionel dealer. And they're good parts, as mentioned previously in other videos. And they also last a long time. So we're going to take them out of the box. Everybody knows what comes in there. The trucks themselves and the hardware. And the only thing you have to do with these is put in the grommet and the screw. And just be careful not to drop these all over the floor. The grommet goes in the hole where the rivet was. And the screw just goes right inside. Get it in the hole. Now you can fix this 2 ways. You can use a drill with the appropriate screw tip, or you can use a number 2 Phillips head screwdriver like I'm using here. With the screwdriver, you have a little bit more control, especially on something like this since the frame is plastic. And plus, you can obviously set the screwdriver down where you need to, and it's not bulky and heavy. So we do the same thing with the other one. And then we just take the other truck, roll it under there, and the whole car is, for the most part, back together. Just line up the hole, hold it still, then just drop the screw in and screw it in. So once you do the conversion, everything else is pretty simple. And you can see I'm rebuilding the one from the 80s first. Okay, always check your screws. Make sure they're tight. Check your couplers. Make sure they open and close. Then it's a matter of just putting the shell back on. Okay, we line it up. And the tabs just go inside there. This one should be semi-lined up. Then just have to push it in carefully. Look at there! Ain't that cool, man? So that one's finished. And in just a second, we're going to rebuild the other one, and I will be right back. Hi, everyone. We have put the other one on the track to do its alignment test. Now we're going to rebuild the newer caboose, which I'm excited about. This is the first one of these I have rebuilt. Same parts, 6-140/78. And the rebuild is essentially the same. This one's a little more involved because the frame and the shell are one unit. So we stick the screw in the hole just like the other one. Hold it in place. Then take your screwdriver and screw it in. The screwdriver is good for tight areas like this. You don't have to carry that bulky drill as mentioned before. And the screwdrivers, everybody has one in their home. And this is a Phillips tip, and this is a number 2 Phillips as mentioned before. Make sure the trucks have a little bit of play in them so they can negotiate the turns. So to keep it from rolling, just use your screwdriver as a little stop. And now we just do the same thing. Make sure the car is balanced. Okay, out the hole. If you have one that's magnetized, it's highly recommended. There you grommet. There's your screw. Put it in the hole. All right. Part of the caboose is back together. Now we put the glass back in. But before we do, check our screws, making sure they are tight. You definitely don't want to over tighten your screws. And then we just slide the glass back in. And it clicks back in like you just heard. Now, of course, it's time to put the finishing touches on the caboose. The roof goes on just like this. Now the handrails, similar to the other one, has the 2 sets of prongs right there on the bottom and 1 small slot right there on the top. And they just slide right in. Looks like the rail's a little bit warped there. Might have to do a little repair on that one. But the other one just slides right in. Should be good to go. Okay. The top piece just goes in, clicks right in. Look at there. Another one's already fixed and ready for the rails. So in review, I've washed all the pieces to it, at least all the handrails, put the new trucks on it, and they're ready to go. So anyway, the next thing you just do, make sure everything looks good, check your couplers, test them on the track, and they're ready to go. So anyway, I hope you all enjoyed this video. I had to thank you all so much for watching.